Hey there and welcome back to Sims Sunday. My name is Pete and this is the series where we try to complete The Sims 3. At the moment, everyone in our household is asleep, except for Pete though, who's still working from home. He will continue to do so for the foreseeable future, as we have accomplished everything we can with him and the money he makes per hour by working from home is pretty high. Let's skip ahead roughly 3 hours and we have Ayesha awake. She will quickly grab a bite to eat and then focus mainly on the collecting skill. While she's having breakfast, let's move those plants here over inside of the sprinkler's radius. That waters them automatically and we no longer have to take care of them with one of our Sims. Alright, Ayesha has finished breakfast. She's now currently analyzing some space rocks. And in the meantime we can already tell Pete to stop working from home. Grab nearly 5,000 simoleons from that, and then Pete and Ayesha can have a little chat. That is mainly to get Pete's social bar back up. Also, we can see that Paul is awake and already under the shower. And Patrick is up as well and on his way over to the lake to go fishing. By the way, it is his birthday today, so we will have him age up to a teenager later. Fresh from under the shower, Paul will now begin a biography that we need for an opportunity. And yes, that is a nice title, and this will take a while. Meanwhile, Pete and Ayesha have socialized enough. Pete will now go back to work, and with Ayesha we will do a quick outfit overhaul. Something I somehow forgot to do once she aged up to an elder. Now, my main reasoning was, Ayesha is a world-renowned surgeon, and I feel now she also looks like one. I also added some glasses to emphasize the whole age thing. Those can also be found on her formal outfit, which is not all too different. Her sleepwear I left untouched.
Dag.
I changed her athletic outfit slightly to make the pieces fit a bit better together. And then I also gave her a new swimsuit.
Soul.
And here's also a quick look at her current career outfit. Now back to the game we go. And the outfit overhaul actually had another reason. I want Paul to make a good portrait of Ayesha. And yes, the police cruiser in the back is actually a nice touch. Let's go with this one. While Paul is painting, Ayesha can check the mail. We can quickly put everything that was in there on the lot. And then have Ayesha send away a few more things. We also received a mysterious Mr. Gnome, so let's put him on display here and then sell a couple more space rocks. And then Ayesha can go and collect new material to be smelted or cut. I think she has a long day of collecting ahead of her. Then we can jump over to Patrick, who has already collected quite a few lifetime happiness points, and we can spend 10,000 of those to make his life a bit more comfortable and grab the steel bladder reward. Back at home, and it is once again time for Pete to put a break in his working session. We get roughly 1,000 simoleons, and then Pete can make a phone call. Like I said earlier, it is Patrick's birthday and Pete has the wish to throw a party for that, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Of course, we will have to set it as a birthday party. The start time can actually stay at 12 PM and then the dress code will be casual. And then I invited just 4 people, 2 of Patrick's friends from school and 2 potential persons of interest for Paul.
Gooble. Furby Gooble.
To fully prepare, let's also buy a birthday cake now. And then we can once again send Pete back to work. Alright, 1 more hour until the party starts. Time for Patrick to head home. We want him all cleaned up for his birthday. So with his first guests already here, he will now quickly hop under the shower. And then let's have a birthday party. Wonderful. Accompanied by 1,500 lifetime happiness points for both Pete and Ayesha, Patrick ages up to teenager. We can now pick another trait for him, and there are 2 more that I want him to have. One is the green thumb for the gardening skill, and the other one is natural cook for, obviously, the cooking skill. And we will take that one right now because we can put it to good use immediately. Before Patrick can start cooking, however, it's time to grab a slice of cake. Everyone's a bit busy right now and Pete is getting tired, so let's once again grab about 1,000 simoleons and send him off to bed. Following right after is Patrick, whose outfit we will now also overhaul. And I have to admit he has kind of an evil look about him. It's probably the eyebrows. Anyway, here's his everyday outfit. I try to keep the whole gardener and fisherman spirit going, and I think this outfit serves this purpose quite well. Then his formal outfit that I did not change. If Patrick wants to go all in white, well, we're not going to stop him. Sleepwear is pretty uninteresting. I really like his athletic outfit though. Maybe it's also the fact that he looks really muscular, although he has never lifted a weight in his life. And then lastly, his swimming outfit. Once again, it shows that he has pretty good genes. Patrick's first action as a gardener will now be to harvest those tomatoes. And then he can head over to the lake and start fishing again. Meanwhile, Paul has finished the portrait of Ayesha, and that looks a bit off. We'll try to make a better one later. For now, we can hang it up on the wall here and then tell everyone to leave. Paul can now go back to the computer and continue to write the biography. And at that moment we also get a wish fulfilled for Pete, who wanted to throw a great party, and thanks to the legendary host lifetime reward, he of course succeeded in that. Quick look over to Ayesha, who is still busy collecting in the hills of Sunset Valley, or at the beach, or in other people's gardens. Speaking of the beach though, that's where we're going to send Patrick next. There are a few different types of fish available in the sea, and he will now try his luck and catch a few of them. And then with his curfew approaching, we can jump right back to the end of his fishing session. Not much has happened in the meantime. Apart from Pete waking up and going back to work from home, Ayesha is still out collecting, Paul is still writing a biography, and so Patrick will now make his way home to cook for the first time. Of course, we want to be well prepared for any mishaps, so let's quickly buy a fire alarm. And then, while Patrick prepares his ingredients, let's try that whole portrait thing again. No police car in the background this time, but I hope the picture turns out a bit better than the last one. Ayesha can now send away most of the things she has collected. You can see by the sums of money that go away here that we have unlocked a few of the more expensive cuts. And then we can see Patrick has prepared his first successful meal. It's not going to be for him though. He will grab a quick meal from the fridge, while the freshly cooked one will be consumed by Pete. After a busy day of collecting, Ayesha has already made it into her bed, while Pete and Patrick can share a few words over dinner. We will then stop Paul from painting. His portrait is progressing quite nicely, but we have all day tomorrow, and he is getting tired, so let's send him off to bed. Pete and Patrick have already finished their dinner. Patrick will go to bed after doing the dishes. And after a quick shower, Pete will also go to bed. With, for a change, everyone asleep, we can now jump ahead to the next morning. The first one awake is Ayesha, who will waste no time and go straight back to collecting. We only need one more gem, one more metal and one more space rock, and then we have collected every available one of those. And that actually gave me the motivation to leave her alive a bit longer. I had a few things planned and I promised ghosts in the last episode. Now I have to apologize that this will happen at a later day. Up next is Paul, who will grab a slice of Patrick's birthday cake for breakfast. And is then immediately joined by his father Pete, who once again takes care of the family funds and works from home. And the last one up is our aspiring gardener. Patrick will begin his day by harvesting the plants on the lot. And as Paul returns to painting, Patrick can grab the mail and then return to fishing. As you can see here, I have sold quite a few things that we received in the mail. Most of them duplicate gems. I have placed the new ones with the others, and we also received 2 more mysterious Mr. Gnomes. And actually those are worth quite a lot, so let's also sell them. Then we get Patrick's wish to go fishing fulfilled. And just a short while later, Paul finishes Ayesha's next portrait. I don't really like this one either. However though, it's a masterpiece painting, and we only need 5 of those to complete the Master Painter Skill Challenge, which will then greatly increase the value of all future paintings. For now we can put this one up on the wall and sell the old one. And then after a quick shower, Paul can get back to work on the biography. Over at the lake, Patrick improves his fishing skill to level 7, and we will have him take a break for now and send him over to the bookstore. And for a total of 5,700 simoleons, we will then purchase all the fishing books, as those can teach him all the bait needed for every single fish. Before he starts reading though, we will have him prepare some waffles. Currently he's only making servings for himself. Once his cooking skill gets better and the meal quality begins to be outstanding or even perfect, we will then begin to make servings for the whole household so everyone can profit of the nice moodlets. Patrick is done with the cooking, and Ayesha is also back at home, once again sending away gems to be cut. And as you can see, we have already unlocked the Brilliant cut, which is the 7th out of the available 8 cuts in the base game, and which costs a whopping 250 simoleons per gem. Then we can see that Paul is getting stressed out from writing, so while Ayesha is sending away her stuff, let's switch him over to painting again. And Ayesha takes quite a while, she still isn't done yet. Nope, still going. Meanwhile, Patrick has started to read his first bait book. And a short while later, Ayesha is back on town, this time trying to catch insects. This was born more out of necessity, simply because, believe it or not, we have emptied all the gem and rock spawners, at least for the time being. Although Ayesha does not seem to be very successful. And once again she fails at picking up a bug. I actually switched her over to collecting rocks again. After a few hours had passed, we have a few more now available. And back at home, Paul finishes another brilliant painting. This one valued at a record-setting 992 simoleons, and because we're doing fine decoration-wise, let's sell it. That also marks the 5th brilliant painting we have finished. Only one more and we unlock the Proficient Painter Skill Challenge, which drastically improves our chances at painting brilliant or masterpiece paintings. Now Paul has to go back to work tomorrow, and this time we want to get the promotion in one go, so let's fill up his fun bar to the maximum with some computer games. Then Patrick finishes his first bait book, now with the knowledge of bait for goldfish and black goldfish. He will continue right with the next one. Paul has maxed out his fun bar, so he will now satisfy his hunger need, and while he makes his way over to the fridge, Patrick finishes another book. I think we can still go for one more. Ayesha has also made it back home, and she will join the family at the table, also with a book in hand, this one being her medical journal. Yes, we do have maxed out the medical career already, but this will help our job performance increase a bit faster, and that means less time until we get the next raise. Paul finishes his dinner, and that's our signal to tell Pete to stop working. Another 6,000 simoleons more in our account now. We have now financed all the books that Patrick just purchased. Father and son will now go for a bit of social interaction. That also fulfills a wish on Pete's side. And after a nice warm hug, we can send both of them to sleep. Please ignore the cell phone in the background. Then we get an opportunity for Pete. This is the same one we got for Ayesha a few episodes ago. And well, who knows if we will ever get to it, let's take it for the moment anyway. A few moments after that, Ayesha finishes her medical journal. Now well prepared for the workday ahead, and let's actually not have her eat something and send her straight to bed. Her hunger need is not critical yet and she can eat in the morning. And then finally at almost 2 AM, Patrick also finishes his third bait book. He is getting pretty tired and school starts tomorrow, but we want him to clean up first. We don't want to get this all messy. And then we can send him off to bed as well and call this an episode. Once again, sorry I couldn't fulfill my promise regarding the ghosts. I simply didn't want to kill Ayesha. But don't worry, we will get to it eventually. In the next episode I plan to do some building. It will then be Monday again, and we can collect our weekly payments, which should catapult us somewhere in the range of 80 to 90,000 simoleons, and I think with that we can build a home for our next generation. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!